Money, we can't get enough of it, struggle to hold on to it, and we have dreams on how we would spend it. Most people around you spend little time thinking about money and how to make financially smart decisions with what they currently have. Instead, we focus on our dreams of winning the lottery, making millions, traveling the world, and buying whatever we want, whenever we want. Money has and always will be the most sought after resource in our world. We need it to survive, pay our bills, and most importantly, buy McDonald's. Just kidding. Even if you do decide that a Big Mac with fries is worth spending your money on, at that moment, are you making a good decision? Is satisfying your hunger with greasy, processed food worth the $10 it costs you? Most people would say no. However, time and time again, we give in to our urges and make poor financial decisions. I too am one of these people that are guilty of making stupid decisions with my money. I have made emotional purchases in the past where I did not take the time to properly assess the situation and ask myself, do I really need to make this purchase right now? So for the month of June, I tried to not spend any money for 30 days. Okay, so before we get into the rest of the video, a quick disclaimer. I have no formal education or background in finance. I am just a dude on the internet that likes to experiment on myself and share the things that I learn along the way. The point of this challenge is not to try and get rich or save as much money as I can. It's about figuring out, where does my money go? And if I couldn't buy a certain thing, how would that affect my life? The information and perspective in this video about money are what work for me. If you need financial advice, I urge you to please seek out a professional so that you can make the best possible decision for your current situation. Enjoy. Day 1. Setting the rules. At the start of this challenge, I wanted to set out some clear guidelines that I needed to follow. Obviously, it would be completely unrealistic if I couldn't spend money on things that would affect the health and well-being of my family. If my daughter had no more baby formula or if our car needed maintenance, then of course, I needed to get those things taken care of. So the goal of this challenge is to eliminate my personal spending on things like excessive food, snacks, clothes, camera gear, or anything on Amazon that isn't essential to my life. Next, I wanted to find out on average how much money I spend in a month. Since I don't do much shopping at stores, the very first place I thought of was Amazon. So I logged into my Amazon account and added up all of my purchases in the past 12 months, which came out to an astounding $3,671.05. Of course, a lot of these purchases include Christmas, birthday parties, gifts, and other things that weren't just for me. And even if I only count the stuff I bought for myself, it still adds up to a significant amount. Over the course of a year, you will undoubtedly have to buy more and more stuff. Just be aware of this. Usually have a little bit of money set aside for unexpected future expenses. For me, this is always something that ends up being around the house. The wind destroyed my fence, my garage door breaks, weeds take over my backyard, a mouse eats my cheese. Okay, so a mouse didn't really eat my cheese, but the point is that these types of problems are ones that I have no issues with spending money on. Instead, I'm looking for other minor purchases I make in my everyday life that I can cut back on. After going through my past Amazon purchases, the next obvious target is food. Eating out, buying a coffee, or even getting a scoop of ice cream are all small purchases that can add up rather quickly. So I decided to make a concerted effort on reducing as much spending as I could on food and drink. Alright, it's day 12 right now of trying not to spend any money. Tina just picked up some bubble tea, but I was successfully able to resist. So that was, what, $6 saved and a couple hundred calories. What'd you get?
Triple.
You got milk tea? Triple milk tea? You want to see my milk tea? I got water.
Can you have a sip of mine?
I don't know. That's not really buying anything, but I feel like that's still cheating the challenge, so I'll say no. How is it? Is it good? It's only day 12. I have 18 more days to go. Why are you flexing? This is bullshit. Okay, so it's day 14 of trying not to buy anything. And our first social distancing meeting. What'd you guys buy? You got some burgers, poutine, fries?
Burgers.
Burgers, yeah? You want to see my epic dinner?
Oh, that looks delicious. It looks like a
It looks good. No burgers for me. Huh? Yeah, man. Thank you. As you can see, I was struggling to resist buying burgers and fries with my family. This was the first time I had seen my parents and brother since social distancing came into effect. Now, in my opinion, this is probably one of the most painful times to not spend any money. And what I mean is, it kind of ruined our gathering for me, rather made it less fun. Yes, I did have a healthy lunch to eat, which was great, but something about missing out on eating what everyone else was eating made me feel extremely unsatisfied. It felt like I wasn't part of the group. It was a very bizarre feeling that I had not felt before. Now I know, boohoo, first world problems, I should be grateful for the luxuries we have in North America. However, I'm just trying to be completely honest and share the entire spectrum of my experience with you. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, moving on. From this point, I continued on with the challenge and lasted all the way until day 24. Alright, so it's the 24th right now, and I'm just at work. I just got a text from my wife, and she wants me to go pick up some Popeyes for dinner, as we've kind of run out of food at home. Now, I haven't had any fast food in over 3 weeks now, I think, maybe even 4. And unfortunately, this will probably count against me in terms of not spending any money for this challenge, even though I'm buying it mostly for like her and us and our family, but that includes me as well. So it's gonna be the first unsuccessful day of not spending any money. But I'll try to continue the challenge for the rest of the month and hopefully finish it out. I am excited for fried chicken though. The previous 23 days I was surviving mostly off of leftovers, canned goods, and random non-perishable food items that were sitting around in my house. This ended up being very interesting as I found a lot of random crap in my cupboard, which honestly I had no idea was even there. But eventually we ran out of things to eat for dinner, so I gave in and picked up a giant box of fried chicken, which worked out well because there was enough of leftovers to last me a few days until we decided to go up north. Alright, so it's day 27 right now of my June challenge of not trying to spend any money. And as you can see from my surroundings, I went up north to the cottage, kind of just to take a weekend to relax and decompress, which will be a topic for a future video. But today I kind of just wanted to talk about my experience so far of going through almost 4 weeks now of making a concerted effort to try to spend any extra money. Now I think there was one day, I'll have to go back and check, where I did unfortunately spend some money, but so far this challenge has been very rewarding. As each day goes by, I notice more and more that there are things where I could have purchased that I didn't really need or weren't necessary for my life. And these small wins just kind of compound and accumulate as the month goes on, and it's nice. Now unfortunately, since I am up north at the cottage with my family, I wasn't able to buy any like snacks or alcohol, so today is kind of rough, as you know, I can't really enjoy myself as I would usually do when I do see my family, especially now since we are still actively trying to socially distance. We were all sleeping in different sections of the house and my brother is camping outside, so we are keeping a safe distance from my parents. Aside from that, I'm pretty happy with the progress that I've made on this challenge so far, and I've learned a valuable lesson about money and wasting money on things that aren't really necessary for life. And in the moment, you can kind of get caught up of wanting to buy that thing or thinking that you need that thing to make you happy. But I don't know, in the end, in hindsight, when you look back at weird purchases that you don't have to make, I kind of feel good about it. and we'll see how I can finish up these last couple of days. Alright, so that wraps up the challenge. A couple things that I need to add is that on day 28 I was drinking some alcohol that my brother's girlfriend brought to the cottage, and I felt like a total bum leeching off of them. So I ended up driving into town and spent about $10 to replace some of the drinks. So in total for the month of June I spent roughly $32, which isn't too bad. Okay, so let's break down the numbers and see how much money I save by avoiding purchases that I consider optional or unnecessary. Now I wrote all these things down, and for my Amazon purchases, what I did was I went through all the purchases again and I removed any of the Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, stuff like that. And in total, just for myself, I spent $2,382, which works out to $198.50 per month, which is still quite a lot. Now, during work, I worked 18 shifts in the month of June, and on average, I would spend about $3 or so on getting like a nice coffee and donuts. I wouldn't always get both, but on average, I would spend roughly $3. So $3 multiplied by my 18 shifts works out to $54 on coffee and donuts, which was mostly spent at like Starbucks or Tim Hortons. There was 3 instances where I had the opportunity to get bubble tea and I was able to pass on all 3 of them, and that saved me roughly $6, which works out to $18 total. Then there was the one day with my family where I saved $10 on the burgers and fries, and there was one instance of McDonald's that I passed on, which again would save me roughly $10. So in total, there was a potential $290.50 that I saved. However, I did spend $32 on Popeyes and alcohol, so subtracting the $32, I saved in total $258.50 for this challenge. Alright, so the question is, would I rather have an extra $258.50 per month, or have the freedom to be able to continue splurging and buy things here and there? When I was going through my Amazon list, the majority of my individual purchases for myself was solely camera gear. I do have 2 Sony cameras and 4 lenses, which can be expensive, and videography has become more than a hobby now, as you can tell by watching this video. It has transformed from a hobby into my passion. Now, of course, I'm not going to buy a 3rd camera, and at the moment there is only one more lens that I plan on buying in the near future. So naturally, the average amount of money that I spend on Amazon should subside this year. Looking over the rest of my purchases, I can tell you right away that passing on bubble tea, coffee, and McDonald's literally made no difference in my life. I didn't feel sad or left out that I couldn't eat a Big Mac or drink an iced coffee. In the moment, sure, it would have been nice to consume one of those things, but those moments are quickly forgotten. What really did bother me was not enjoying food with my family. I think the difference here is that, especially with food or drinks, I'm okay with being more frugal and mindful of my purchases when I'm alone. But when it comes to eating with friends or family, I want to be able to fully immerse myself in the situation and just enjoy life. I don't want to be the guy that eats out of a Tupperware in the corner while everyone else is eating and drinking something delicious. Our lives are so short, and these moments you have with the people you love are finite. We should enjoy them to the fullest. Also, something interesting not related to finances happened during this challenge, and it was a change in my body weight. Usually I walk around at about 175 pounds, and on July 1st, for some reason I randomly decided to weigh myself, and to my surprise, I came in at 166.4 pounds. I thought about this and I realized that the 9 pounds that I lost was due to food deprivation. Since I couldn't buy any food, snacks, drinks, my daily caloric intake went way down. Which does sound good, but because I couldn't buy anything, I had little to no fresh fruits and veggies in my diet. And obviously that's not good. I was definitely lacking a wide variety of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. So I don't recommend this at all for weight loss. In closing, I think I learned a valuable lesson when it comes to figuring out where does my money go and what actually makes me happy. Is saving $3 on a latte going to make you rich? Of course not. But at the same time, will buying that coffee make you happy and add value to your life? For me, the answer to this question is no. I'm just as happy as if I were to brew a 20-cent homemade coffee in my home. Of course, everyone's situation is different, but I think there is an important exercise we should all think about and contemplate. At the time of this recording, the vast majority of stores in my community remain closed, and restaurants have just started to reopen. A lot of people are struggling financially, and the fact that we have no idea when COVID-19 will end is scary. It just is. So I'm hoping this video can help someone out there that's thinking about cutting back on their expenses. Don't be afraid of what other people think. We are all going through tough times right now. And I urge you, if you do need financial advice, please seek out a professional. There are numerous resources out there that are just a phone call away. So I'll see you guys next week, and thanks for watching.